Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus pilot, and welcome to our longest Airbus flight on the channel so far, operating from Dubai via the North Pole to San Francisco. And this is what today's routing is going to look like. So we are heading northbound from Dubai until we eventually reach the pole, and then we're going southbound via the Pacific Ocean into San Francisco. We are going to have a very smooth flight today. If you look at the significant weather chart, then while we are crossing some jet streams indeed, we are not crossing any clear turbulence area or anything the likes until we eventually make our way towards San Francisco, where we are going to take advantage of a jet stream over here, which is going to give us a little bit of a backup here, arriving on time. So, since they are slowly starting up other aircraft over here, I do suggest we're eventually gonna run inside and avoid getting distracted by the sounds over here. This is a little bit better, isn't it? So, with that out of the way, let's continue looking at the flight plan. So, the airport weather itself is rather interesting today. Dubai, obviously good weather conditions, departing runway 30 right as usual. 27 degrees, so that's quite good. Rather cool for the time being. And then we've got San Francisco. And San Francisco, at our estimated time of arrival at around 20 to 2100, has gust 33 forecast right down the runway. So not all too problematic for the time being, since it's right down the runway. However, since our alternate is Oakland, and since that is so close, they basically have the same weather forecast. And since the two airports, San Francisco and Oakland, are so close to one another, we have to be a little bit mindful of the weather as we fly into the general San Francisco area. Now, the next interesting thing then, before we continue with the rest of the weather, is looking right up here. You can see our takeoff weight is planned just 800 kilos below the maximum takeoff weight that the A380 can carry. So we are right up there at the maximum. And that obviously means that we have to apply some common sense over here, flying into the area around San Francisco. We always have airports en route where we can do a fuel stop if it should turn out that the weather in San Francisco becomes too bad. So we could at any time divert to maybe Seattle, Portland, or even land in Anchorage and refuel over there. So loads of options that we do have available. Now, going on from here back into the weather then, our ETOPS alternates are important as well, or I should call them EDTO alternates because literally the A380 has more than two engines, but let's just say ETOPS stands for engines turning or passengers swimming today. Or shall we call it passengers skiing? Well, it's the same thing. So, our first ETOPS alternate is Tromsø, and Tromsø, as you can see, 700 meters visibility, showers of snow and snow grains, and vertical visibility 500, so that really isn't all that good. Then there's Pitufik Space Base, formerly Thule, which also has drifting snow and some gusts included. So things are gonna get interesting today on the crossing. So weather is a topic, at least down on the ground, and we'll have to keep that in mind as we fly along for the next 15.5 hours. So as mentioned, we are right at the max takeoff weight. That doesn't leave us much options. If we depart on time, we are going to arrive on time. And looking into the fuel figures themselves, they want us to carry 208.8 tons at the takeoff and, well, 800 kilos of taxi fuel. So overall, if we just add them together, round them up, then we end up with 210 tons of fuel, and we really can't take any more than that. Otherwise, we're going to exceed the max takeoff weight. So 210 tons is the fuel decision. Alright, then let's head into the cockpit and start to prepare our Airbus A380 for today's service. I gotta say, I'm excited for this one, since it's the first polar crossing that we're doing on the channel, and since we haven't flown over Russia for all that long as well. Okay, so the engine masters are off, the mode selector is in norm, landing gear lever down, wiper selectors off. Then we can check the batteries, which we can do up here. So battery 1, 27, number 2, 27.7, APU battery 28, and essential 28 as well. Excellent. Alright, so they're all above 25, that's the important thing. Then we can turn on the external power as well down here. Bing. Welcome to Airbus World. Alright, and while that's powering up, let's take a quick look down here into the newly added OIS. So flight number is going to be UAE 51 November, and we're departing from OMDB towards KSFO. And with that, it can already start to initialize the OIS down here. Then we can have a look at our electronic flight bag. And we can import the Simri flight plan over here. Here we go, thank you. And then go right into the fuel and payload. So we can just synchronize our payload. For the fuel we wanted 210. So let's load that up. And here we go. With that, our aircraft is now fully loaded. Perfect. Okay, cool. So by now the avionics have started up, so let's turn on the ADRs. 1, 2, 3. Then we can do the recall down here. So, recall last. Press and hold for 3 seconds. Nothing on there. Quick look on the status page as well. Showing normal as well. Perfect. Alright, then fire test. It's looking good. Starting the APU. And while the APU is starting, let's go down here onto the door page, cross-check the oxygen quantities on board. Onto the hydraulic page, ensuring that we have sufficient hydraulic quantity on board. And then finally we're gonna head over to the engine page, for which we gotta power the FADEX. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we do have sufficient oil quantity as well. By the way, thank you very much to FlyByWire for adding this. It's a rather hidden feature that not many people or not many flight simmers know about, but it is a standard operating procedure for the A380 to follow this. Okay, so flaps are up, spoilers are retracted. That agrees with the control and indicator positions. Park and brake is set, and the hydraulic brake pressure indicator is looking good as well. Perfect. APU is available, so APU bleed is coming on. And here we go, that is looking good. Then right into the flight deck preparation. Now, rather similar to the A350, I have to say. Few things are different, but overall, the A380 is a very similar aircraft, which is the reason, by the way, why you see some airlines doing common type ratings now. Or not common type ratings, but common fleet operations. So, for instance, in Lufthansa you have a couple pilots who are rated to fly both, since they now have the A350 and the A380 down in Munich. So we do have some temperature-sensitive cargo in the forward hold and some animals in the aft hold, so let's tune it like this. CBR test not simulated at the time, and we can see some white lights on the maintenance panels. That's fine, nothing to worry about. So QNH 1015, the rest is set up here. And then down here, listening to 1215 and to 1228, transmitting on 1228. And that's set. Down here, everything's set. Over here as well. And then let's go right into the FMS. So we're in A380-800 with a Rolls-Royce Trent 900 engines. The nav database is up to date. Then let's go down onto init and company flight plan request. That's going to take a while, so we can make good use of that time by going into the Navigraph charts up here. And by setting up our charts. So we are departing from Dubai. We do need a taxi chart, and that is of course going to be the code letter Foxtrot taxi chart. So that one, which by the way includes the parkings at which we can park as well. So over here we are. So that's pinned, and then we need the SID, which is the DAVMO for Foxtrot departure, which we can pin over here as well. Then we can just open that up. Here we are. Alright, perfect. So that is already set. Let's see, the flight plan has arrived. So received and insert. Emirates 5 on November, Dubai, San Francisco, alternate Oakland, flight level 310, cost NX50. So now for the cruise temperatures, let's bring up the flight plan over here. And we have minus 47 degrees with a tropopause in 34,000. So cruise temperature minus 47. And the tropopause in 34,000. Alright, the average wind component is 4 knots tailwind. And then let's go on to the IRS, which is aligning. Then departure, Dubai 30 right, sit, Devmo for Foxtrot, Tempe and insert, and into San Francisco. We're arriving with an ILS approach runway 28 right via the Bodega 4 arrival and the Amaker transition. And then we can insert that as well. Now let's cross-check that our sit is indeed correct. Let me put up the dark mode here, a bit easier to read, isn't it? So we proceed via, let's bring up the plan and the constraints. We proceed via Delta Bravo 570 to Delta Bravo 560, Delta Bravo 576, and that's maximum 220 and above 3,000 feet, which we have down there as well. And then we continue via 568 above 4,000 feet, Kunpi, Obrok, and Davmo above 12,000 feet, and all of that is included down here. Very nice. Alright, so flight plan info, and we can't do anything over here just yet. What we can do is to start inserting the step altitudes. And for that, we are going to start over on the flight plan. So we start on level 310, then we got 320 for a short while, but I don't think that we're actually going to fly that. So Kilo Romeo Sierra, flight level 330, that's next. So Kilo Romeo Sierra, flight level 330. And then we are going to continue via Lockney, flight level 350. So, Lockney, flight level 350. Then we continue via, let's see, some even levels for a little while. So, Sierra Hotel 340. Well, I'm probably going to insert 360 over here, because it's not very long between the two, I believe. Let's see, descent at 5 hours 43, climb at 622. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll say Sierra Hotel in flight level 360. So, Sierra Hotel, flight level 360. And then next will be a little bit of going up and down. So 370 overhead Decmo. So Decmo. Nope. Yep. Come on, what's it doing? Interesting. Okay. Decmo, flight level 370. And then we have one more, that's going to be 390 at Yankee X-Ray Yankee. So U in 390. Alright, perfect. And that's our step altitudes entered. Very good. Then we can return and flight plan info, fix info. Over here we need OMDB 30 right. And the radial for the engine out is going to be 299. Unfortunately, we can't insert custom waypoints, if I'm not mistaken here. Yeah, the waypoint page is grayed out. That's fine, so we'll just do the engine out like this. That's fine. Can maybe draw a 25-mile ring. That should mark the position as well. Alright, perfect. So from here, let's return to the init page, nav aids, and we don't have anything hard-tuned here. Fuel and load. So, let's see, our zero fuel weight is 350.4. So 0 fuel 350.4. CG is unknown at the moment, so I'm just going to enter 30. And the block fuel 210. Taxi 0.8. Then let's see about the remaining fuel figures. So alternate 2.2, final 4.8. Alternate 2.2. Final, yeah, it's calculated 4.7, that's fine with me. So for now it tells us we have 20 tons extra fuel. We'll see about that by the time we actually get there. But this is quite good for the time being. Then, on to the takeoff performance, and for this, let's go ahead and have a look at our SimBrief takeoff performance calculator, which we can see up here. So Dubai 30 right, takeoff weight 560 all the way to the maximum. Let's do config optimum at first. Bleeds, well, it's 27 degrees. Let's take them off. So with that we get a flaps 1 takeoff at 38 degrees and runway limit 560 tons, so we can go with the full max takeoff weight. I just want to experiment with the flaps a little bit. See, config 2 gives us a greater flex temperature of 43 degrees, so I suggest we're going to go for that. So flaps 2 and then 43 degrees of flex. So flex 43 and flaps 2 packs off or supplied by APU. Thrust reduction and acceleration 1000 each. Transition 1300 is correct, and then engine out acceleration 1500 is correct as well. So let's go for the takeoff speeds, please. And those are going to be 142, 157, 164. So 142, 157, 164. 142, 157, and 164. Alright, then onto the climb page. Over here, nothing really. Optimum level 325. We'll keep an eye on that. Maybe we can climb to 330 initially. Position monitor page is not simulated. The secondary flight plan is also not simulated. So with that, we are basically done with our FMS setup. Then let's go all the way up here. QNH 1015. We can activate all of those things. Initial to 4000. And you get the same. Now, normally I would set up the ANF over here, but in the fly-by-wire Airbus, I constantly get frame rate problems when I do that, so I'm not going to use the ANF. Instead, we will just use the taxi chart down here on the OIS. That has to be good enough, and it has our position on it as well. Alright, very good. So with that, we are pretty much ready to go, so let's do our departure briefing, please. Alright, thank you very much. So we are departing Dubai, 30 right, DAVMO for Foxtrot departure. Initial climb 4000, MSA 3800, extra fuel, basically 0. Yep, I agree, thank you very much. So, hotspots for our taxi out, we have to cross runway 30 left, and that's the main hotspot that I see for today's taxi. What are we going to do then? Well, engine out straight at 25 miles. We are, of course, above the maximum landing weight. We're right at the max takeoff over here, 560. Max ramp is a tiny bit above that, so 300 kilos more, not a problem at the moment, just to get you guys in the loop with that. Apart from that, I have no specials. If we need to make an immediate re-landing, we can do that with the overweight landing procedure that we have on the abnormal procedures over here. And, well, that's really it. I don't have anything non-standard over here. In terms of specials, well, our clean speed is 242 knots, so we do have a 220 knot speed restriction on the Delta Bravo 576 point. That means we keep the flaps extended, and as you can see over here, we can retract them into the position 1, but not into 0 until we're past Delta Bravo 576. No problems on the altitude restrictions, as we can see, and I don't have any threats either, do you? Nope, that's just perfect. Then, let's do the cockpit preparation checklist, please. And I have to say, I really like that FlyByWire has implemented these little markers down here so that we don't, you know, have to look through the entire cockpit all the time. This makes it so much easier to handle them. Of course, in the real world, these aren't there, but very nice little trick. Okay, cockpit preparation checklist. Gear pins and covers removed. Fuel quantity. Just checking that left and right have the same quantities everywhere. Okay, 210 tons balanced. Barrel ref, QNH 1015. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. So, let's say hello to our guests and then we can get ready. Salam alaikum, ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel. In the name of Emirates, welcome aboard Flight 225 to San Francisco. Today's flight time will be 15.5 hours, and we expect a smooth flight until about 1 hour from our landing, where we might start to pick up some turbulence. We expect some excellent views on today's service, and we will cross the North Pole today. We will let you know once we are right on top of the world. Thank you very much for being our guests. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. And if there is anything we can do for you to make it more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew. Once again, welcome aboard, and thank you very much for your attention. Okay, so we've greeted our passengers. Then by now we should get the load sheet, and then we can start to set up for the pushback. So let's see about the load sheet first. Fuel and load, payload. So 350.4, and the CG is 34.2. So 350.4 and 34.2. 210 tons, and that should give us a gross weight of 560.3. I'm happy with that. Not simulated just yet. Down here we've got the takeoff weight. That's fine as well. Below the maximum. Okay, perfect. So our takeoff weight remains unchanged. Takeoff data remains unchanged, so we can keep the data we've got over here. Stabilizer setting is 39.7 today, and that's it. Okay. Wonderful. So let's go ahead and prepare the position for pushback and departure, please. Let's see, what's the time? 47. Schedule is at 50 if I'm not mistaken. So we're running pretty well. Okay, ground flight. Go. So you can remove the ground power units, please. And please confirm that all ground checks are completed. The bypass pin is inserted, doors and hatches are closed, and the aircraft is fully ready for pushback. That's all confirmed, Captain. Okay, thank you. So, slides are on, as we can see. Well then, B4 start checklists. Oh. Here we go. So, park and brake. Set. Takeoff speeds and thrust. V1 142, VR 157, V2 164, flex 43. And B4 start checklist complete. So, the wing walkers are living dangerous over here, very dangerous. Connecting the tug. Oh, hello there, welcome to Dubai. That's gonna be a pretty strong tow bar down there. Very strong tow bar. Carrying those 560 tons of aircraft. But alright then, so things are looking pretty good. In terms of traffic, there's nobody behind us. Quite a bit of dust in the air today. But yeah, the airplane's got to be able to take that. Okay, cool. So things are looking good. So then let's see if GSX is ready by now. Yes. Okay, we're going to face east. So, facing southeast on Zulu. That looks good to me. Okay, so, pushback approved, southeast on Zulu, parking brake is released. Roger, brake released, and you are clear to start the engines at your discretion. Roger, starting at our discretion. And here we go. Bye-bye, Dubai. Hello to our home for the next 16 hours. Quite impressive, isn't it? You operate these flights with 2 entire flight crews, so everyone on board has a replacement crew member on board. So it looks like the wing walkers have given up. Well, fair enough for me. The 777 next to us is pushing as well. That's looking quite impressive, isn't it? Let's just hope that he doesn't push for too long. Or he probably has just gotten a straight pushback. Okay then, we cleared the road. Starting engines 1, 2, 3, 4. And starting engines 1 and 2. Hello there, frame rate. That's the 777 behind us. Alright, that's getting far too loud for my taste. So, what are you doing? Ouch. AI. Artificial idiots. At least it's nice and quiet in here. Okay, so engine start is progressing nicely. And number 1 and 2 are available, starting 3 and 4. Finishing up the pushback just now. I do really like the animations here of how the engines are running up. Okay, and push complete, set park and brake. Brake set. Surveillance, transponder standby. Okay. Yeah, the default setting button isn't simulated in here, so assume it's... Actually, it did do something, right? Let's try that again. Oh yeah, it is doing something. It just doesn't show that window like it does on the 350. Not sure if that's an implementation thing or whatever that is, but very nice that the A380 has these kind of features as well. Alright, so we have forward engine starts. You're clear to disconnect. Show me the pin on the right, please, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. What was that? Another artificial idiot? Yep, another artificial idiot. Okay, fine. Well then, so here's the tug, standing by for the gentleman. And let's see, of course it didn't trim itself very well. $39.7 roughly, here it is. Alright, cool. So there's the lady, she's holding a pin in her hands. And of course the 777 in front of us is pushing as well now, so things are getting busy. Okay, after start checklist. Anti-ice, off, after start checklist complete. Flight control check. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral and the rudder. Full left. Full right. And neutral. Alright, cool. Then let's see where he is going. Probably right through us again as well. I told you, artificial idiots. AI. At least he seems to miss us. That's good. Alright then, so pin chart, Dubai, taxi, open that please. So we're down here, runway 30 right, we're gonna taxi via Zulu, Kilo 11, and over here we gotta cross runway 30 left. And that's the taxi hotspot, that's fine. Okay, brake released, off we go. We'll probably need quite a bit of power to get moving here, since we are at max takeoff weight. Brake check. Pressure 0. So, 560 tons. I think we've only flown a heavier aircraft once. That was the AN225. But I don't think we've had it at a higher weight. So this is probably the highest weight we've ever had on the channel in actual operation. This makes it nicer, doesn't it? So, straight ahead, third to the left. Alright, I have no changes to the briefing. Do you have anything? No? Perfect. Alright, and the squawk is set. Very good. Taxi checklist, please. Flight controls, checked. Flap setting. Config 2, radar on, taxi checklist complete. Really neat feature with those buttons down there. Otherwise you always had to do things like this, couldn't look outside while reading checklists. That was a very good idea by FlyByWire. Very good idea. Okay, so Kilo 11 coming up on the left side. Go down to 10 knots. Here we go. A little bit of thrust going into the turn so that we don't stop accidentally. Okay, so where is all the AI going? One over there, one over there. What is he doing? He's not lining up, is he? No. Okay. So I literally can't see a thing over here, but let's assume the approach area is clear then. At least there's nothing on the TCAS. So crossing runway 30 left. Really a lot of dust in the air today. What is he doing? That's the wrong runway direction, my friend. Okay, no comment on that. In any case, we are ready for departure. Let's see. Over there is 3,800 meters, then we have roughly 4,000 at the intersection over here. And 4,000 is also what we calculated in SimBrief, so the intersection Mike 14 Alpha is fine for us. 4,051 meters. Okay, clear left side, clear right side. Cabin crew, prepare for departure, please. Lineup checklist. Let's just get the lineup right. Ooh, pretty hard to get that around the corner. Need a bit of thrust here. We've been taxiing too many A350s recently. Here we go, looking good. Alright, lineup checklist. So, takeoff runway, 30 right, via Alpha 14, or Mike 14. Cabin crew, advised, packs 1 and 2, off, lineup checklist complete. Okay, are you ready to go? Take off. Manflex 43, SRS runway, auto thrust blue. Thrust set. 100 knots, checked.
Lead 1.
Rotate. That an A380 that lined up on the opposite side there. No comment, huh? Positive climb. You're up. Nav checked. So, just 1,500 feet a minute. Oh, wow. So, why are you pitching down? I didn't ask you to do that. Thrust climb, climb auto thrust. Flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1. So this guy is going to the left, that's fine. And we are going to the right. Autopilot 1. So, it still says we're able to meet the restriction over here, that's fine. Quick check, and all the others are good as well. So, flap auto retraction at 210 knots. Okay, yep. Packs are noted. So pack 1 on, and pack 2 on. That's exactly what I talked about in my recent live stream, where I said that it's easy to get distracted if you've got to maintain, for example, the flaps out for a little bit longer than usual. Alright, so let's continue our climb. Flat over 100 at first. Really a lot of dust in the air today. Look at that. Could probably have cleaned the windows as well, I do agree on that, but look at this, you can basically not see anything down here. In other words, we'll have a very nice and clean aircraft soon, just the problem with that is clean, in this case also means without any paint on it. But that's what they're made for, so that's fine. Okay, passing 576, then our speed is going to increase in a few moments. So, speed target rise. Will you? Please. Do it? Here we go. Took a little bit longer than expected, but here we go. Also, we are climb thrust now, so we no longer need the timer up here. So, what's happening? Why are you not accelerating? Very interesting. Okay. Well, flap 0. Speed checked. Flaps 0. So, if we go back to manage now, then everything works fine. No comment on that. Must have been a little bug or something. Okay, no after takeoff checklist in here. Really a pity they modeled those old checklists in the 350. It would have been so much nicer if we had the same checklist in the 350 that we also have in the 380 over here, as those are the newer ones. Well then, let's get those sunshades closed up there. And probably you as well. And you. Alright, cool. So with that, we're up in the air. Let's climb to 15,000. And then, the most important check first. Estimated time of arrival, 20:06. in almost 7,500 nautical miles. A 2006 is quite good, because that is well ahead of schedule, isn't it? Yep, 2050 is the schedule. Very nice. So look at that rate of climb here. Not even 2,000 feet a minute. And this time we are not even an NED rated climb. This is really quite amazing. And it isn't that hot either. Sure enough, a couple degrees, but not all that bad. Always amazing to see 560 tons of aircraft. $560 tons. Unbelievable, isn't it? Always amazing to think about that this airplane can even fly. And then it even flies so well. Really cool. Really, really cool. Okay, so approaching flight level, or approaching altitude 10,000. Oh, lights off. Well, there's no turbulence forecast, so seatbelts auto. Nothing hard tuned. And then optimum flight level 310, maximum 325. That's what I talked about on the ground, that the optimum level tends to change in the FlyByWire A380. The real one would probably do it a little bit better, but always worth checking in flight anyway. Okay, so flight level 310 is going to be our cruising level. Our initial cruising level. Couple of steps coming up ahead. So, Alt 31000 blue. Well, and with that, we're up and on the way. So, enjoy the beautiful views as we're flying halfway around the Earth. And most importantly, enjoy the North Pole. Let me see if we can actually mark that one down here on the fix info page so that you don't miss it. And pole, you have that in database? No. Lido has that in database, normally. But okay, that's fine. Which is the nearest waypoint we have? North 89, West 140. Let's insert that one. 100-mile radius, so that we can absolutely spot it as we're flying along. Well, and with that, I tend to say, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. clouds, and here we are at the very top of the world. Looks like our simulator is misbehaving a little bit over here. We are still running 4x time acceleration, and well, let's change this over to real time, just for a moment here to see what's actually happening. So, North Pole, marked as no pole right over here, and we have it just on our right hand side. Right down here. That's it, my friends. The part where there is no satellite scenery in Flight Simulator 2024. And note that I can't move my camera down either. It's stuck in this position over here. So 10 miles over there, that's the North Pole. We're right at the top of the world. Also funny to see how the aircraft is just, well, banking, but if we look at the moon, still kind of flying straight, isn't it? Very strange looks. Very, very strange look. Alright, let's see if we can help a little bit by going direct to Demco over here. Let's try that. Alright, Demco, see what it's gonna do. Once we are getting a little bit further down to the south, then everything is going to fix itself. Just really thought it's funny to see here how the simulator acts up a little bit when you're passing the North Pole. So let's speed this up a little bit, see if we can actually get out of this area again. And here you can see how we are slowly turning back towards the route. And back to where we are supposed to be. Now do note that since we have just passed the pole, we are now flying southeast bound, and that means we got to do step climb as well. So let's go up to flight level 370. Here we go, thrust climb alt flight level 370 blue. And then let's update the direct to Demco ones over here. So deck mode direct, and here we go. Now we're far away from the pole again. And now the aircraft is able to resume its normal navigation. And kind of funny seeing those issues when you reach the top of the world, aren't they? I really do appreciate this. So let's see if we can get that camera under control here. Here we go. So, very nice to see that the polar night is coming to an end. The sun is slowly rising again and will stay up over here for the next, I don't know, 6 months or so? Very cool to see. Very, very impressive. Especially when you see it for the first time in real world. But now, let's move on towards San Francisco. And here we are, after a little bit of a troublesome second sector. I'm sure you've seen the couple of autopilot disconnects and the little bit of wobbling of the aircraft. That was caused by the simulator stuttering when crossing Alaska. It did the same when we flew over northern Russia, so I'm guessing FS 2024 might have some issues in regards to the polar circle, but well, who knows, just a little guess. In any case, we can already see the USA, and we have some 60 nautical miles to run to our top of descent. So let's get inside again and let's start to work on preparing the aircraft for our arrival. Most important thing first, what's the current weather? So we have 290 at 21, gusts 27. Alright, in terms of fuel, 15.8 is on board, landing at 14 tons it says. So that gives us well, 7 tons extra. That's roughly 1 hour. So I tend to say we are doing well just continuing into the San Francisco area, and the weather actually isn't too bad. As long as it's just gusts without thunderstorms and stuff like that, I really see no problem at all here. Alright, so altimeter 29901. Let's go ahead and pre-select that. 2991 and 2991. Alright, so let's start by searching our arrival. So edit, remove the Dubai charts. Those are a couple thousand miles away, 7,000 to be exact. And then we can start to look into our destination, San Francisco, if you will. So, KSFO. Our star is the Bodega 4 arrival coming from Amaker, and we'll look into the rest in a few moments. The approach is the ILS approach runway 26 right, which we have down here and which is now pinned. And then we need some taxi charts as well, and here we have it, A380 approved taxi routes and the parking gates as well. So, that's the general charts that we'll need. Let's now go ahead and check the arrival. So we're coming in from Amaker, to which we are inbound already. Then, from Amaker, we continue towards Quinn, which is at 280 knots between level 240 and 280. Then we've got Baglow between 190 and 230, again 280 knots. Then we continue towards Lozit between 14 and 16, again 280 knots. And then on to Bodega, below 13,000, Cork 250 and 11,000, and then Briggs at 11,000, and thereafter we'll receive radar vectors for the ILS approach onto runway 28 left. Let's now have a look at the ILS chart. So, starting at CPIN 3000 and maximal in 1800. And we've checked all of that. 3-degree glide slope down there and over here. Minimum is 213, we'll insert that in a moment. And now let's have a look at the missed approach. So climb to 3,000 feet on San Francisco radial 281 towards the VQ intersection and hold. So we have 281 to VQ 3000 and hold. Perfect, so that's already that. Now let's go for the performance. Descent, we can keep the automatics. Now for the approach, we have 290 at 21, gust 27. So 290 at 21. Then the temperature is 11, altimeter 29901. So OAT 11, UNH 290.901. Alright, that's entered. Then the minimum is 213 feet. Like that. Config full looks good. Transition level 180 is good. And in case of engine out, acceleration altitude, well, 3,000 as missed approach altitude. Like that. Perfect. Now onto the map aids, and we want San Francisco VOR, radial 281 for the missed approach. And that's it already. Now I'm a little bit afraid of opening the AMF to insert our BTV exit. So let's just go auto brakes low, vacate towards the end, and that's it. I'm completely fine with that. Okay then, so that stuff is in. Let's go onto the surveillance page, TCAS control onto below, in preparation for our descent. And well then, let's start with the approach briefing, please. Okay, thanks. So Bodega 4 arrival, ILS 28 right, minimum Sparrow 213, go around straight ahead to VQ climbing 3000, and extra fuel is 1 hour. Alright, thank you. So flight director guided approach, config full, vacate the runway to the left hand side, and I have no specials or non-standard on this approach. I do intend to use auto brakes low. We basically have the full runway available and absolutely nothing to worry about. Right, do you have any questions on that? No? Perfect, so that's a briefing complete. See guys, that's just as easy as it can get. So let's say bye-bye to our passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. We will start our descent to San Francisco in a couple of moments. The weather in San Francisco currently a little bit gusty and the temperature of 11 degrees Celsius. We'd like to thank you very much for choosing Emirates for today's flight. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did, and we look forward to welcoming you again on board of the future service. Thank you very much for your attention, and we wish you a nice and safe continuous journey. Alright, back on. No changes. Perfect. So, let's continue on to San Francisco. Alright then, we are overflying San Francisco VOR and going right onto the radar vector. So let's say ATC will give us a vector at this point anyway, so let's go 140 and then down to 7,000. You can see a little bit of traffic in the San Francisco area over here, as would be expected. Well, and the weather conditions? See for yourself. Looks impressive, is definitely turbulent, but nothing all too shabby. Look at this. We've just flown through this, so you can see it's not all that bad over here. Just a little bit turbulent, as you have surely seen on the way down and in. Alright then, cool. So back into the cockpit. Now this might get a little bit bumpy again over there, but we don't have weather radar in this plane, unfortunately, so we'll not be able to tell anyway. Okay, let's help it a bit. Give me half speed brake so that we can start to get down. And then the NSA from San Francisco VR into this direction is 4,500. So let's go down to 5. And that's 5,000 blue. Passing 10, landing lights on, seatbelts on. EFIS is set and LS is selected. Very good. Okay, approach checklist please. So, barrel reference, QNH 290901. Minimum is barrel 213. Auto brake, low. Approach checklist complete. Okay, turn left heading 100 into the downwind. Plane descends really well, 3,000 feet a minute with the speed brakes out. So we've just got to try and find a way in between the traffic. Perhaps behind this guy over here, I suppose. Even though he's climbing, so he probably shouldn't be an issue. Even better. So you can't really see the turbulence on the camera, but look at the speed indicator. That's certainly going to be bumpy right now, and everyone really should be sitting. Okay, so speed brakes retracted. 1,000 to go. Speed 220. And then we can turn left, heading 010 into the base. And descend 3,000 for the approach. Traffic is no issue, they're climbing. So we don't have to think of these guys. Here's the glide slope, so I think we're going really well here. So, direct to set pin. Normally I do course in now, but, well, looks like we'll have to insert that and then just go back to heading mode. So get me back on the 010, please. Here we go. So, right on the glide slope. That's a perfect position. We will have quite a bit of headwind on the final, 25 knots here. For this reason, I'll just keep the airplane onto the current, on the current speed. It's pretty cold still, 5 degrees. Alright, and then let's turn left, heading 310, clear ILS approach, 28 right. Lock stop. Okay, approach face is active. Manage speed. Localizer alive. $1,000 to go. Alright then. Autopilot off. Auto thrust off. Let's have a little bit of fun after, what's this? Well, 15 and a half hours. Checked. So, displays are getting a little bit brighter. Let's dim that down a bit so that we can read them better. So, quick check, 2 DME equals the runway threshold. So we are pretty much 10 miles out now. Flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1. Last stop start. Go around altitude 3000. Set. Really strong headwind. Look at how easy our speed is going back. But yeah, 22 knots. Checked. Alright, flaps 2. Speed checked. Flaps 2. You're down. Flaps 3. Speed checked. Flaps 3. Okay, engine MTS off. And flaps full. Speed checked. Flaps full. Landing checklist. Landing checklist complete. Yeah, you can memo landing no blue, I suppose. Well, doesn't matter, same thing. Okay, perfect. So, one guy on the T-cars on the left, but 600 above and climbing. Probably departure, I guess. So, established, nice and safe. Everything completed at 1500, so we do have a little bit of extra time. Well, and here we are. So let's make it a good one. The first A380 landing on this channel in a little while. Lots of A350 though. Checked. So here are the gusts. The key to managing this is just to keep a constant thrust setting. You've got such a high mass on the A380 that you see lots of variations on the speed indicator there. But in general, if the trend isn't to accelerate or decelerate, then just keep a constant thrust setting.
500.
See this? Like you easily gain or lose 10 knots over here. Just make sure that you don't lose too much airspeed. As long as you remain close to the target, you're good. Land.
300.
Someone doing a low approach there, or whatever that is.
100 above.
Checked.
200.
So,
Minimum
15.5 hours. Continue. We better not mess this one
100.
up.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5,
Wonderful. Spoilers, reverse green, brake low, decel. Manual brakes.
Auto brake off.
Okay then, and off the next exit. So, 15 hours and 33 minutes. That's what I call a decent flight time. We'll keep it rolling a little bit here to be sure to make it towards the next exit in a decent amount of time. Luckily we don't have to be too worried because you need so much separation behind an A380 that we can really take all the time we wanna. Alright, and here we go. So, let's see, we are clear on the right side and as clear as I can see on the left side. So crossing 28 left, and indeed we are clear over there. And then we'll cross the runway and then turn left onto Bravo. And when we're on Bravo, that's when we can clean the airplane up. Clear right side, clear left side. Okay. And back onto the center line. Here we are. Perfect. Cool. So long. Let's taxi around the terminal and then we go off to the down to the south over here. Using Flight Radar 24 to determine the gate where the real aircraft parked, of course. Okay, so, and when we're on the next straight line after landing checklist. Here we are. And looks like Emirates doesn't even have an after landing checklist. That's fine with me. Alright, cool. Then let's go ahead and find that parking chart. So, down here, and it's Alpha 6 over there, I believe. Let's see, GSX, Alpha, one suitable parking. You're not too small. Alpha 6, or anything else down here. I'm pretty sure it's Alpha 6. Let's just take it, whatever they say. And no follow me needed, thanks. Handling by Denata. Alright, cool. So, gotta find our way around that terminal. So we follow Bravo all the way to the end and then to the right into Mike 2, Mike 4, and then Alpha 6. And something tells me that they marked it as Alpha 6 Sierra in the AFCAT to denote Alpha 6 Super. Just a feeling, though. No clue if that's actually true or not. Okay, APU is available. So we continue across this one and then off to the right-hand side. Alright, off to the right, speed down to 10, like this. And here we are, a little bit of power to make it around the turn. I was just thinking about doing reduced engine taxi, but something tells me, nah, I'd better not. Well, it doesn't matter. Emirates has more than enough money. They can pay for the fuel. So look at this. Even with a little bit of power on, the plane barely maintains the speed. So, parking over here. Gotta find the correct taxi line then. But I think we've already found it. Mike 3. And one further, Mike 5. Nope, we need the one right in the middle. Looks to be Mike 5, doesn't it? We'll just take it. That would be a lot easier in the real world when they tell you exactly what to do and what taxiway to take. So, let's hope that that Frontier isn't on our gate. Nope, he's on Alpha 8, very good. Then we park one further on Alpha 6 as planned. Okay, lights off. That's Alpha 7. We're gonna go one further. So, we do have some ground staff, that's very good already. And here we go. That lead-in line actually looks rather accurate for the A380. Okay, so A380 is on the guidance system. Lovely distance indication in feet. One of those things that I really dislike about flying to the US, even though some airports also have it in meters. And yeah, 1 feet is fine. Come on. Here we go. Stop. That's fine with me. I'm happy with that. Come on, park and brake is set. APU bleed on. So, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cabin crew, all doors in park. And here we go. Engines are running down. So, let's go. And that's looking good. Alrighty then. Onto the surveillance page. Transponder standby. Here we go. And over here everything is set. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a ground power unit, please. And then GSX, you can start deboarding. Alright. 4 GPUs. It's just insane, isn't it? So, engines are off, beacon off, parking checklist. So, park and brake our trucks, brake set, wing light off, fuel pumps off. Come on, will you tick that? No. But they are all off. Interesting. Look at that, it doesn't wanna... Wing lights? They are sensed, but which fuel pump is not off? So those are off, the trim tanks are off, these are off, and these are off. No, they are all off. Not sure what the plane is sensing there. That's gotta be a little bug in the version that I'm using. So let's just say parking checklist complete. Well, my friends, then let's go ahead and admire that wonderful performance here. So, fuel, we've used 197.7 tons. Just think about that number, 197.7. Like, how many 737s could you fuel with that? 10, completely. That's so incredible. So absolutely incredible. Let's take a small moment and compare the fuel that we've actually used with the fuel that we were supposed to use. 197.7 plus 800 kilos taxi. So our fuel burn, spot on. Absolutely spot on. Perfect. That's all we could ask for. Well, my friends, and that's all I can offer you today. Thank you so much for flying along. I hope you had as much fun as I did on this one. Be sure to leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video. I'm really looking forward to that. But in the meantime, as always, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. Let me know if you want me to do more A380 flights in the future. And with that, thank you so much for watching. Looking forward to see you all again on the next one. And if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to see you again on the next one.